Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the phases of clinical trials. Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. We've got a really good one for you guys today. This is a more clinical research specific video, so if you watch this channel and not really interested in clinical research, you can go ahead and just skip this video and watch one of the other videos instead. But today we're talking about the phases of clinical trials. Now, a lot of people may have heard about clinical trials. They may have learned about the phases of clinical trials in biology and thought it might have been confusing or not, but we're going to go over it today nice and easy for you to understand. And for those of you who are trying to get into the clinical research space, this is helpful to know for your interviews that I'm sure are coming up. And so a lot of people think there are 3 phases of clinical trials, and that's a good thought, but there are actually more than just 3 that you may know of. So there's, in addition to the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, there's what's called a phase 4, which can happen after the drug is already on the market. And there's also a preclinical phase, which is before phase 1. So all in all, there are about 5 phases of clinical research if you want to be complete there. But of course, the phase 1, 2, and 3 are the main ones. That's where most of the money and intensive energy expenditure is done, and those are the 3 main ones. So the first one we're going to talk about is preclinical, because we want to be complete here. And the goal of the preclinical phase is to test an initial idea to see if it has any effect. So they may have a compound or something that they're thinking of, that they're working on, and they just want to test it to see if it does anything. And so the preclinical phase is different from all the rest because this is where they test it in animals. So this could be in rats, mice, and any other animals that they may test it in. So that's the preclinical phase, and this is before phase 1, and they're just testing the compound that they may have to see if it has any effect. So that's the preclinical. Then there's phase 1, and the goal of phase 1 is to find the safest dose, and to find the most effective way to deliver the drug and start thinking about the side effects. So this is done in a small cohort of healthy patients. This does not have the disease that they're interested in looking at. These are healthy patients, and they just want to find out about the side effects, because the smallest dose that they find that has side effects will be the maximum dose used in the remainder of the trial. So that's interesting. So that's phase 1. Usually, just gonna have a few, maybe 10 or so healthy patients that do not have the disease. Okay. So then there is phase 2 of the clinical trial, which is gonna build on the results of phase 1, like I said. So the smallest dose that causes side effects in phase 1 will be the maximum dose used in phase 2. And they're going to see how well the treatment works. And this is the first time that patients with the actual disease are introduced to the drug. So once again, this is going to be small, probably bigger than phase 1 in the terms of number of patients, but it's going to just be small just to see how it is. And if the treatment is effective and it is safe, then they're going to move on to phase 3. And the key thing to know here is that this is the first time the drug is introduced, the drug or medical device or whatever it is they're testing is introduced to patients with the affected disease. So if all things go well in phase 2, then they're going to move on to phase 3. And this is the largest group. This is where the largest amount of money is spent. They can have hundreds, sometimes thousands of patients. And, this is where they do all the randomization and stuff like that. I mean, these are huge. A lot of money is spent on these phase 3 clinical trials. And the goal here is to really see if the new treatment is better than the current standard of care. So, and then this is like pretty much the final part. There is a phase 4, but this is most important. and then they're gonna submit the drug to the FDA if everything goes well in phase 3, phase 4. So I mean, obviously this is the huge part. This could take years to run a phase 3. It's large scale, takes much longer than the phase 2 because you're dealing with so many more patients. You have to recruit all these patients, et cetera, et cetera. Where in phase 2, those are just healthy patients. You could find those anywhere. So it's not going to take as long to go through. So that's that. And then there's a phase 4, which the main goal is just to analyze how it's being used on an everyday basis in the patients to see if it can remain on the market. So they take that data and they run a phase 4 study with it and really understand if it's better or equal to the current standard of care, what the side effects are, because sometimes you don't see the side effects or all of the side effects and see how it's impacting people until it's already on the market. But they're continuing to study it in everyday people, and they're just making sure that everything is okay before they can before it completes the phase 4 completely. So that's all the phases right there. So preclinical, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then of course phase 4. And those are the phases of clinical trials, guy. Nice and easy, not as complicated as you might have thought. I mentioned some of the key distinctions between each of the phases. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you want to see any more clinical research related videos, comment those down below. You can email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. And that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Don't forget the red subscribe button. Take care.